I know how you got such.
What is going on, everybody? All right, so we got another day in here, and we're going to be talking about marketing today. Okay, so what is the difference between free marketing and paid marketing? Because it's a big thing. Okay, you need to understand what it is that you can do for free and how far that can get you compared to when you're paying for your marketing, you're paying for ads to get out there. You need to really understand this because you guys are all business owners, and this is perfect for you because you need to understand this yourself. So today I have Brandon Harris with me. I'm going to bring him on here, and so he is the owner of Lawn Care Marketing Success, and he's going to be on here talking about marketing with me, and then we'll get this going. How you doing, Brandon?
Good. How about yourself today, man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. It's a beautiful day in Denver. We had snow yesterday, and then now it is beautiful 60-something degrees.
Hey, man, we're sitting in the 70s. The snow's gone. The beach weather's coming out. I think we're going to bellies to the beach next weekend.
Oh, man, I miss the beach. But so tell us a little bit about Lawn Care Marketing Success.
Basically, we were founded about 2 years ago. After doing about 6 years with two different companies being in corporate marketing, I got fed up with watching the way small businesses were eaten up and thrown out with the big business mentality. And the same thing as you guys at YardHopp, you're always looking for the small business and how to develop something that they can really build and thrive on. And I got so sick of, buying out small businesses as a job. And I sat down one night and I'd come home and talk to my fiance and said, "Hey, honey, they're sending me in to lay off an older gentleman with cancer, and I don't think I can handle it." And she goes, "Well, why don't you start a company, bring in some employees, and do something differently for businesses?" And that's basically what we did is we started that. Since then, we've been working with small businesses all over the country and in Canada, developing marketing programs, plans, websites, doing everything from that to even taking sales calls for some of our customers. It's been a blast.
That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome, dude. And so how long have you been doing this now?
We're going on our second season now. We started last year in the middle of the year. Actually, 4 of us from a marketing department all walked together at the same time from the different various jobs we had and came together. And this is our second season. We're up to 19 contractors, which are mostly college kids getting their education and experience in the fields they're in. And then my main 4 guys, which is myself, Clayton Westhoff, Kelly, who you'll see all over the internet with us, and this really, really awesome guy from down south, Dwayne. So we've been working pretty cool now for about 2 years.
That is pretty awesome, man. 2 years, and you guys have blown up pretty good. You guys have got a pretty good operation going on.
Yeah, we've got about, in total with all our online assets, 50,000 followers. Our email list are growing quite rapidly, and it's been a blast, man. It honestly has been a really cool experience to run into lawn care guys all over the country and listen to their different needs. And again, shooting back to you guys, man, with YardHopp, that is huge for their needs right now. One of the biggest things they talk about, man, is Thumbtack, Home Advisor. I hear this all the time, how they're dumping money and talking about marketing into this big marketing with zero return. And that is something we definitely should touch on.
Yeah. And I don't really talk too much about YardHopp in this show. I really try to promote just knowledge and really getting going with helping promote business. I'm more than happy to talk about it. I just haven't really penetrated that line just yet. That's a future to come. I want them to YardHopp to sponsor this show, and I really want to kind of take this to being pretty big. But I kind of want to talk about you. I really want to talk about, the way that businesses are. I want to talk about, the differences in marketing strategies that you see that work the best. And I also kind of want to see just a little bit about here. Actually, I got to pull up some agendas. I just forgot to put up my things. It's the new way of business, if you guys did not know that. And we're going to be talking about the difference between free marketing and paid marketing. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is Google AdWords. Okay. So how important is that for your business?
When it comes to doing Google AdWords, especially for small level lawn care companies, it is a key, essential part of the business, but it's how we're spending and who we're spending that money with that counts. A lot of times you don't need $1 million company to step in and charge you $1,000 a month to run your AdWords. It's about how you're running those AdWords, what you're focused on, and really nailing out your niche. So what a lot of guys tend to do, I was on the phone earlier today with a client in Texas, and he goes, man, I'm spending $700 a month with this guy. I've been doing it for 6 months and I'm not getting the leads I need. What's going on? And what's happening is we're not actually looking at the details. AdWords is key. Dan, when it comes to your AdWords, it comes down to the words you're using, the key phrases you're using, and how well written those ads are. And a lot of times we don't think about that, or we delegate that process off without looking into it. And that's where the issues are running in.
Okay. So when you're doing Google AdWords, okay, so you have to use specific words. So you're going to be doing like lawn care. You're going to be doing mowing, grass. You're going to be doing specific things like that. What are like the really important ones that you suggest? So like let's break this down into two areas. So you have landscapers, and then you have people that the lawn technicians that really mow the lawns, because sometimes there's a disconnect between the two. Some do both, but most of the time they do separate. So how would you differentiate that?
I think I differentiate that really when it comes down to the way you're using AdWords. Let's start with lawn care over here on the left-hand side. You want to use what are called base regular keywords, just generalized keywords, lawn care, aeration. You want to use things like that, but then we also use long tail keywords. And as funny as this is, we've had a lot of success even misspelling those keywords after using the proper spelling. So if you're in Seattle, lawn care in Seattle, Washington is something I use as a long tail keyword or a search term in my list of keywords. And then I may misspell the word lawn by one letter. And if you look that up, you can go onto Google today. A lot of your big companies are doing it because of the low cost per click and how often people misspell things. So I break those words down, and I'd start with a list of about 10 really solid keywords, and then I take some long tail keywords and make a list of about 15 to 20. For your landscaping side, depending on what's making you money, I know French drains right now with the way the weather has been. I get a lot of phone calls. Hey, I want to market French drains. There's a lot of money in drains. I'm charging so much per litre per foot. We're nailing that out. Spring cleanups, it's another one. You want to do spring cleanups in, spring cleanups near. The best spring cleanups. I don't ever want to see, and I know for you guys too, anybody in the marketing field hates seeing cheap, affordable. Never use those words. You never want to get those phone calls and you're wasting money on that lead, because you're going to get that lead. They're going to call in. They're going to fight you on price. But if you use everything from lawn care in to professional lawn care in or professional landscaping in, those sort of terms, they really pay off long term.
Right. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting on like the wrong spelling, because like I like to use Instagram a lot, and I spell things wrong all the time, but then it still has like thousands of people that post it because they don't notice that it's the wrong spelling. So that's a really good, interesting thing that you just said. And the cost is way down on that because of that.
Yes. I actually, if you know who Sean Canary is, I trained under Sean Canary about 2 years ago, and he is HubSpot's Center for Marketing. I spent a couple of weeks with Sean out in Ohio, and Sean was marketing, and I kid you not, we're sitting there going through his marketing funnel, and he's misspelling words. And I looked at the guy and I said, man, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And he goes, how much you spend on AdWords this week? And I'd given him my budget, and he took it, he chopped it into like 3 pieces. 15 minutes later, he had a new campaign going, and he goes, check this in 2 weeks and call me and thank me. Left it alone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, my costs had gone down by almost 30%. Just by using those additional misspelled words.
Right.
And that is a really cool practice I've used ever since.
Right. That is a really cool practice. And if any of you guys have specific AdWords that you think have worked the best, put them in the comments here, because, you never know what Brandon might not know. It's always nice, hearing new ideas and fresh ideas, and even, like what you were saying, like French drains and things like that. So popular things that are going on in the industry, Brandon, that's someone that needs to know that kind of thing, so he can make sure that you guys are getting the best Google AdWords in that. Let's transition this to social media. Okay. So social media is huge. All right. So you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you got Twitter, you've got, Pinterest, you got like 12 different main ones that everybody really uses. Okay. So in lawn care, which ones do you feel are the most impactful?
To be honest with you, Dan, it's not so much the output or the source that you're using. It's not the Facebook, the Pinterest. It's not the Instagram. It's the information guys nowadays and ladies nowadays are doing in their marketing. That's key. I don't care what you're using platform-wise. Of course, Facebook is going to be key. Instagram, everybody has one. But what we're using that for nowadays, and I think a lot of guys don't realize, is that this is underlying in your SEO. So it doesn't matter if you're using all the platforms or none of them. When you're using them, the key with those online platforms is just filling in your information properly and not trying to sell all the time on them. You need to inform people.
Right. Right. And then so this is where I want to talk about the differences between, I guess, free marketing and actually paid marketing, because the reach is so much differently, and then the amount of work that you have to do is completely different also. So I do a lot of free marketing myself. So like what I do is, like, specifically, like, I'm in these groups. Okay, this is me network marketing myself. I'm trying to build myself to be a trustworthy name, and what I'm doing is I'm spending months and months and months just communicating with people. So I have this is my first year in the industry, so I'm learning as I go with what's going on in here. And what I'm doing is I'm building relationships. I'm meeting new people, and I'm gaining trust with different people. And the way that I view business is if you trust the business owner, you're going to trust the business, because that's usually the view of everything. Okay, the business owner's views is going to be transitioned into that business, and that's what I try to do. I try to portray myself as an honest, upfront kind of person, wanting to help everybody, because that's exactly what I want to do. And then, but it takes a lot of time and effort. Okay, so I've been doing this for 5 months. I've been doing this. Nothing's been. I don't take any kind of money, anything like that. It's not what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to build my name. But it's essentially building my marketing over time, to where once I really put my name out there, it'll be a lot easier to take off. But then when you get into Brandon's transition, okay, this is going to be a lot simpler. So what is the kind of reach that you guys get when you guys do marketing on social media?
Depending on the page and the post we're working with, for instance, our Instagram page, we've got over 10,000 followers. We're about to hit 11. And we can put out a post, and a lot of times what we do is exactly what you were saying: personalize it, build trust, build the brand, but also personalize and have fun with it. And we'll hit, some of our stuff 200, 300, 400 shares. And what we're getting out of that is we're taking fun and implementing fun into our social marketing. And that's where your free marketing really pays off.
Right.
Actually, Dan, when I first come across you guys, you reminded me of some of my marketing styles where you guys were implementing fun. You're putting out fun pictures, out there building the business, what you're doing and when you're doing it. And to me, that's what sells. If you're a customer and you're online, you can tell me all day how great your magic pen is. I got a pen right here. It's a phenomenal pen. But I'd rather see this pen on the Eiffel Tower skydiving than I would wanting to see that pen with a discounted rate on it. I think that's the key to all of it, is pushing real content that means something to the customer, having fun with it, having a good time, and building that audience. And I think that's what keeps people generating. No matter where you're at. That's the best type of free marketing, but you're right. It does take time. I see you, myself, a lot of guys that do this, we live on the internet. A lot of us are slaves to the keyboard. I'm up till 2, 3 in the morning every morning looking up and developing content for that free marketing aspect. But it does work if it's done right. Yeah.
And I love that, because I'm getting to meet interesting people all over the country. I get death stares from my wife all the time because, I'm just sitting there on my phone, and it's sometimes she thinks it is that I'm just playing on my phone, but it's different. So like I'm talking to hundreds of people, I'm messaging people, I'm out there commenting and doing all this strategy. In my head is just that, this is going to pay off eventually. Okay. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Like, I'm building myself, and with that is going to, I'll get paid in time for things that I want. And that's going to be YardHopp essentially. But then, just building myself as someone that you can trust in the industry that wants to genuinely help build your business. And then, so when, you were talking about like free, not free, but, fun. Okay. So we do like to have fun with our social media. We want to incorporate us into it, and we want to have fun. Now, I want to get into more of Snapchat. I want to get more into Musically. Okay. So like, I want to have fun with this, because I know those ones are more for younger generations, but these younger generations are going to be adults soon enough. And that's where I want to really take off with that, because when it comes to having fun and showing my real personality of being a really funny guy, like I really like to joke around and have a lot of fun. But then, I talk a lot of business on these groups, but how much do you deal with that kind of thing, where you see businesses want to be funny and market that way?
Well, actually, just today I was on the phone, and it's about the 15th business this last month we've been dealing with, We created something fun. You'll see it pop up here. We're going to be releasing it tomorrow in a lot of the groups. And we created a lawn gnome. We literally got a lawn gnome. And we were on the phone, and the guy goes, what can I do to reach customers? Let's go get a gnome. Let's paint the gnome. Put your information on the gnome. And we're going to hide the gnome while you guys are working in the lawn. And you'd just be surprised how many people are receptive to that. And not only are they like, yeah, that's awesome, that's going to work, but then they put it into effect and it really starts working. This season, say about 50% of the people we're working with are trying that funny, happy, upbeat approach, tied into quality, pushing quality, and then developing reviews, which is, not really off topic, but it's another thing that, once you're building that funny, you develop the reviews and get a lot more traffic. So that's the process we've been taking with a lot of customers.
Right. And I feel like when you do that kind of thing, when you put personality and you're incorporating fun into it, the customers feel more comfortable with you. And that's so when you're just doing traditional, or not necessarily traditional marketing, but social media marketing where you're paid ad, it's a little less, I say personal. But when you do the free marketing where you're literally going out there and you're commenting everybody, you're getting personal with everybody. And imagine having, a customer that you've never met before, but you've been talking on social media for 6 months, and they're just happen to be down the street and now they want to use your services. Okay. Those are the best clients because they're the ones that are going to be recommending you to everybody because, you didn't just build a customer base, you built a friendship, you built a community, you built, trust along your business with your customers. And that goes a long way. Holy crap.
Oh yeah. Off your point there, Dan, I mean, building that trust and building that bond, especially using the free marketing, like you were saying, that's a longer term bond. And that's not only a trust bond, but that's a bond where people are going to be more willing to spend more money with you. They're going to be more willing to get upsells from your company, additional services. And that's another area where you can really utilize those connections you've made on that type of marketing.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So next I want to talk about the traditional marketing. Okay. So when I talk about traditional marketing, I'm talking about your door hangers. I'm talking about, your yard signs. I'm talking about newspaper ads. I'm talking about, the radio ads, older ways of marketing. How effective do you see those ways of marketing compared to the new ways with Google AdWords and social media marketing?
To be honest, Dan, there's not a massive difference until you get into the Google AdWords types of things and you see what's going on there and you see the cost per lead. So I've seen guys that have got great cost per lead on marketing pieces, but they're out there handwriting their letters. They're sending out old school letters. The old traditional, let's slap some door hangers up and run, it doesn't work anymore. You're looking at a 1 to 3% conversion rate. But if you have a plan that's in place and it's working for you, my biggest suggestion is don't knock it. You can always look to improve it, but don't put all your eggs in or out of one basket. Traditional marketing nowadays, of course, is taking a very big halt. Newspapers aren't circulating as much. The phone book means nothing. When's the last time you opened one? Mine popping up my back door where we go out to burn fires in our fire pit.
Right.
Those things. So yeah, traditional marketing is slowly but surely dying off, but there are guys that are still utilizing it and they're capitalizing off of it. It's more personalization when you're doing traditional marketing nowadays. If you're making a door hanger, personalize it. Write a note at the bottom. Leave a little bit of room on that door hanger where you can inform that person whose lawn you just stopped on to put a door hanger on, hey, you've got snow mold in the front lawn, or you've got this or that going on. You've got aphids on your tree. You need a tree treatment. And I think that's the way that's really working out. But I haven't really seen too much of a difference. It just depends on who's using it. There are people doing great at everything and people failing at everything. It more so depends on how much thought process planning information went into it, how much the cost for the products are, and if you're getting them at the right price, how much the cost to put them out is, and what the return is per investment. Right.
And now what is the cost difference between doing traditional compared to the new way?
That, again, depends on the size of the business. I've got companies we've done, literally I've got a Google AdWords account sitting next to me that has $240,000 spent for the year. We've spent $240,000 on Google AdWords, and the cost per lead is phenomenal. And I've got a company sitting next to that does $250,000 per month because they're a smaller budget business. And as we're going to a smaller budget, it varies. I'd say neck to neck, a guy spending $500 and another guy spending $500. The guy spending $500 online is probably generating about $1,000 more in revenue off of that marketing campaign as opposed to the guy doing ground marketing in this day and age.
Right. Yeah. So what I see going on, especially since this jump into social media myself, I was a real big social media hater. If you would have asked me 6 months ago what I thought of Facebook and all that stuff, it was just not for me. Starting my own business really kind of made me go all in on social media, and going all in into it really changed my mindset on this and really made me understand that it's more than just social media. It's more than just talking. It's more than just, what's going on. This is the future. This is the future. Okay. So the traditional ways of doing things is gone. Okay. So you have to understand, TV. Okay. How many people actually watch TV? Okay. Or, if better yet, how many of you watch commercials? Okay. And when you do watch TV, how much are you really watching compared to using Netflix and, Amazon Prime and Hulu, whatever it is, or just watching YouTube on your phone? Okay. So your phone, this thing right here, is the future TV that's in your pocket. Okay. So this right here is, in like 10 years, I say is the new TV. Okay. The TV is going to be the radio, and it's not going to go away. It's just that it's not going to be as relevant. It's not going to be as big. Facebook currently right now is looking into making TV shows and movies. All right. So this is what people need to understand, that you need to get on board with the new technologies because they're not going away. All right. So a lot of people think of like a lot of new technology and they're like, oh, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. And then all of a sudden everybody's using it and you're like, holy crap, I need to get on it because everybody's there, so go ahead.
One of the big phone calls we get during the week, and my phone rings about 50, 60 times a day, and you'll pick it up, or I'll have a secretary pick it up, one of the guys in the office, and it's, why am I not ranking on Google? Why is my Google ranking not there? And just to your point, that phone, this little piece right here that you were talking about, actually I just turned mine on, and believe it or not, advertisement. The first thing you see on my phone pops up is an advertisement off of YouTube. And I'm always on YouTube, I'm always learning, and I'm always on Google when I'm buying. And that's something people don't think about. 1 out of every 3 buyers, their first thought process is look on YouTube to solve the problem. If I want to buy a product or service, I'm looking on Google. And they'll go, well, why am I not listed? They're not caught up with the times. They're just now realizing it. And it's something like that, like getting your business listed on Google and working for those top page positions that gets you that free advertising. That is another form of free advertising. Once the work's put in, you can really capitalize on, but it's all based off a cell phone. I don't know if you read the HubSpot study, but 2019, they're anticipating 89% of all sales of merchandise, goods, and services will be done online.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is Amazon Alexa and the Google, I don't know what that one's called. Do you know what it's called? The Google one?
The Google Shop?
You got the Amazon Alexa, and then you have the Google.
No, I don't. I've got.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called either. But okay, so it's revamping the way you buy things. Okay, it's completely revamping, because all you do now is say, Alexa, buy me toothpaste. Alexa, buy me this. Okay. So right now, the way that you buy things is you literally got to go online, or you go on your phone, whatever it is. And let's say, you see something you like. Now you have to click on it. It takes you to a website. And then if it doesn't lead you directly to that piece, you got to go and find it. And then you got to add it to your cart. And then you got to go into your cart. And then you got to, do the checkout and type in your information and then go and go and go. Imagine once you're just on Instagram, you see someone wearing a cool shirt and you click it and then it's bought.
Yeah. And that's the way things are changing very rapidly. It's almost automating your own thought process. And that's on a global level, where marketing's been heading for a long time. If you even look at the Congress trials of Facebook just recently, and the trials that go on all the time on big technology, it's we're literally buying in the now. And as humans, we think so quickly and we process so quickly. For lawn care guys, for guys in the business, when you're looking for that type of thing, customers are looking in the now. And it is getting to the point where you're going to be able to say, Alexa, buy me lawn care. And this person in line is going to pop up, and that's who they're going to receive.
Exactly. And then now there was a comment on down here that I want to bring up right here. Okay. So the way I feel it works for me is optimizing my SEO on my website. Okay. So Brandon, this is your forte. Go ahead, and I would like you to answer this.
I actually think, he's probably 110% right when it comes to optimizing your SEO. What a lot of people don't realize is that when you optimize the SEO and you're working up on page rankings, I use a company called Mojo. We keep up with 350 websites, and we're optimizing daily. I've got 3 kids in my office today. All they do is write. They write for a living. They write blog posts. They optimize the website. They're pushing those keywords in. Of course, we're doing ad campaigns off of those, but yes, optimizing your SEO, developing onto your SEO, and upkeeping your website is key. You could have built a website this year. You haven't touched that website. You haven't added a blog post. You haven't gone in and tried to better a page in some way. Eventually, you're going to see your rankings reduce and the amount of calls you're getting overall decrease. So he's probably right. That's one of the best things you can do is either optimize your site or have somebody on your side that knows what they're doing. Website optimization is key.
Okay, now I got to ask this because, you being a marketing guy, you might have some sort of insight on this a little bit better. So where do you think the next place to market is? Okay, so Facebook is getting bigger and bigger, and within the next couple of years, it's going to be pretty expensive to advertise on Facebook and these bigger platforms, Instagram and things like that. What do you think's going to be next? Where do you think that's going to be?
To be honest, I never push guys for what's next. I always push for you, focused and central. If you can build your email list, and it's something that a lot of people don't even realize. Right now today, Dan, I can go in my office and pull a little over 400,000 emails out of our database. If you can build an email list that has an open rate, I think the next big thing in marketing is guys building their own platforms. You're seeing it time and time again with guys like Danny Lanier. You've got B&B Lawn Care. A lot of these guys out there are building their own networks. And if YouTube dies tomorrow, Facebook disappears, and the next Friendbook or Friendspace or Twitch, Twitter pops up, yes, of course we're going to migrate to that and utilize that as a tool. But I think today in 2018, marketers are starting to realize, and business owners as a whole, you can build your own network. And through using these different types of marketing tactics, you're building that network by building an email list. And you need to continue to update that list with informational emails about your products and services. But I always push my guys to build their own site as their social engine. You can log in for, say, my website right now. I give away free content, leave room for you to comment, make a profile. And I think that's kind of the direction a lot of our guys are going. When it comes to social platforms, I think Instagram is probably the second biggest one to Facebook. I'm assuming it's going to grow by about 300 or 400% the next 2 years, just because it's a little bit quicker and easier to use, and it's a phenomenal platform.
Yep. Now, to get a little bit more into it, oh man, I kind of lost it. I had a question. Usually I try and write these down. Yep, I lost it. Can't believe I did that.
I've lost my train of thought once or twice. You train down, you jump back on the bandwagon, make sure you get your SEO on a website and a bag behind you. You're good to go.
You did it. You got me to think about it again. Okay. All right. So how important is it nowadays to have a website, and not just have a website? Okay. How important is it to actually invest some money into a website? Because, I see a lot of guys with websites, but then, you look at them and they're not that impressive. So what are your thoughts on a website for anybody in business?
It totally depends, again, on the level of business you're in, but from start to finish, everybody needs a website. Everybody needs an informational website that they're upkeeping or that they're having somebody help upkeep. And why that is your anchor. That's your centerpiece for your business. And in today's day and age, you don't have a website and, of course, your Google listing hooked to it. You're not going to get any of that online business. Like they said in South Park when we were kids, we want some of that online money. Well, if you want some of that online money, the website is key and it's essential. But I think the big thing nowadays is that when you're investing money in the website, looking at who you're investing with, what your total investment is, and that you're not overdoing it. I love taking the phone calls where I get people what we price out websites at. We have a special going for $399 for our this month, and we'll sell that website at $399, and they'll be, oh my God, that's a lot of money, or why are you guys so cheap? And we try to come in right in the middle, and a lot of our competitors, there's some other great guys out there as well that come in around us, and they start developing sites. What you want to look at is the cost. You never want to pay over $1,000 for a website. When you're trying to sell you a $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 website, unless you've got 10 locations you need to service that, it's a waste of your money. But investing a couple $100 into developing a website, $1,000 into developing a really darn good one, like Brian Ring does, I would not be opposed to that. But then you have to upkeep that website as well. You have to develop onto it, and you have to stay steady on that platform. You can't just put it up and go, oh man, it's going to make me money. No, you need to update your pages, update your blogs, look at your met tags, the cities you're tagging, and constantly change as your Google Analytics is changing and as keywords potency are changing. You can check keywords on Google Keywords Council and just see how many hits they're getting. You want to change that up as they change up.
Right. And a big point that I want to bring up with this is there an echo or is that just me?
I think that's just me.
Okay. All right. So is that when you're putting money into this kind of thing, when you're putting money into a website, when you're putting money into marketing, when you're putting money into employees, equipment, anything, okay? Ultimately, it is an investment. Okay.
Correct.
So when you look at it as, oh my gosh, I'm spending $400 on a website, you're thinking it in the wrong terms. Okay. Because yes, $400 might be expensive right now, but the thing is how much is that going to turn over with that $400? Okay. Having that website is going to bring you thousands and thousands of dollars of income. Putting in, ads is going to bring you in lots of income. And right now, Facebook ads and Instagram ads, they're cheap. They're not too expensive. So when you go out there and you spend, let's say, $50 on a week ad to go to hit your specific area, that's going to hit thousands of people for $50. And how many, if that brings you 2 lawns, you made your money back right there, and it just keeps on going from there. Go ahead.
Just to touch on your point, actually, Dan, the website is a long-term investment as well. And one other thing I'd like to touch on is the expectations set when you're getting a website. A lot of guys, and I'll hear this constantly, I got my website built last week and I don't understand why I'm not getting sales. 6 to 8 weeks just for that website to plug into the search engines. And then when you're getting those blog posts out, it does take about 6 to 8 weeks per post for that to sink in. But when they sink in, those are long-term business plans. Each one is a long-term investment. If you look at, Sean Canary, a guy that I continually go back to because he was one of the greatest guys I've ever trained with, and you look at Weedco out of Ohio, look at the study on their blog post. Each one of those blog posts over a 5-year period of time brought them in $5,500 a month. Now, after 5 years of time, they sat down, they calculated this, and they did a study with HubSpot. They're making $5,500 a blog post. Now, imagine if you had a team working with you or you had somebody on your team blogging once a week, once a month, and they were consistently putting out those posts. Over time, you're building an inline stream of revenue. So, yes, it's key.
You're going to be huge. Right. And that's huge. And the consistency of doing that kind of thing is absolutely ridiculously huge. So, I'm a real big fan, especially in this industry, okay? How-tos. Pinterest is absolutely huge because if you just start, documenting how to mow your lawn, how to service your lawnmower, how to, put in an irrigation system, how to build a deck. You guys do so much vast things, but the thing is, there's so many people out there that like to do it themselves. And, a lot of people's views in this is that I'm just giving away my secrets and that, other people are just going to do it, not me. But I'm going to tell you one thing is that these are already out there. There's already plenty of them out there of how-tos to do it. But the thing is you're not doing it. You're not doing it, and you're not optimizing on your skill set to be able to capitalize on more than just your area. Okay. So if you're just in Cleveland, okay, now you're doing Pinterest how-tos to the whole world, to everybody that's on Pinterest. So now you don't have to worry about, I'm just giving these guys my secret. You're giving the guy the secret for the guy that's in Los Angeles. Okay. So you're taking maybe that guy's losing business out there, but it's not you. Okay. So you can't look at it as you're giving away your secrets and the patience game. Okay. So nothing comes fast. All right. There's no such thing as get rich quick. There's no such thing as instant success. There's these people that do a lot of work and a lot of work and a lot of work. And then finally somebody notices, and then they're big and famous. Okay. And that's the way this works it's a patience game. Nothing is going to be quick. Your website is going to build and build and build. Your blogs are going to build and build and build. Your how-tos are going to build and build and build. And at first, they're not going to be as great. But then once you're, 10, 15, 100 in, it's just going to get better and better, better and better.
100% correct.
Right. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we talked about pretty much all the main points, man. Do you have anything else that you want to hit about marketing or even your business?
I do want to hit one thing real quick, Dan, and that is, as guys are heading in right now with such a late start to the spring, don't get so concerned about, getting out and still marketing. If you're getting bombarded by calls, always reach out for help. But what I'm seeing, and one of the big concerns I have even, is a lot of the guys that you normally see out there running and kicking butt because they had such a late start to spring and they're getting jammed with calls now. They're missing their marketing time this season. Just think about that, guys. And if you do need help, there's a lot of outreaches. There's a lot of guys out there that do phenomenal jobs. Just reach out for help if you're struggling in that department. Don't let the kickstart to the season really slow you down. And again, Dan, thank you guys so much for having us on. It's been a blast working with you guys, and we really appreciate it. I think we froze here, bud.